and welcome to this Dittmer Knittery video. My name is Bev. This is Maybelline. You can find more information about me and Dittmer Knittery in the description box below. Maybelline is my little chihuahua. She is about 16 months old, and she certainly is quite dear to me, and she is a very good little dog. Very good little dog. And she likes to be in on the videos if she can, and every once in a while somebody asks about her. So here she is making an appearance, telling everyone hello. She is a very sweet and loving girl. And I'm coming to you today to say hello and thank you for watching, and remind you, to like and subscribe and spend some time in our Yarny community visiting other channels and watching more of my videos. So some of those other channels would be Kim the Crafty Nomad, who recently helped us have the seasonal Yarny YouTube Hop Summer Edition. Go to her channel and look for the playlist for that. And that's one way to learn about a bunch of really good channels to watch. Maybelline Wants to Get Down. And some other channels I enjoy, and I think you would too. Katrina at Mindful Crafts and More. Pricilla of Distinctive Crochet. Kim the Crafty Nomad. Another Kim of Affordably Crafty, and Ginger the Yarn Geek. And together, Kim and Ginger make Affordably Geeky, I believe. So they have a lot going on, and they're really, really fun to watch. So check them out if you have time. Jeanette at DIY Creations, Marieanne at the Crochet Clogger, Pam in the Crochet Corner, Laurie of Cloudy Nook Crochet, and that's just to mention a few. Of course, there are many, many, many Yarny YouTube channels, and it just seems to me like we're just a great fuzzy community, and we all support each other, and I know I feel support from all of those I've mentioned and more. So I thought I'd take a minute today to say hello, and I'm going to talk about the Scrappy yarn project that I talked about recently, and I will link that video below so that if you haven't seen it, or if you'd like to see it again, you could go check it out when I showed my yarn and talked about the scrap yarn project that I've started on. And so I'll show that to you a little more closely here in just a minute, and I hope you like seeing what I've been making, and I'll see you again in a few minutes. This is the very beginning of my scrap yarn project, scrap yarn bag. This is the bottom, the center bottom, and I'm using this set of needles, and I just looked up how to pronounce it, and the closest I can probably come is Luca, which means joy or happiness, and it's L-Y-K-K-E. So these are the needles I'm using. And I mentioned this, mentioned it before, mentioned this again because I said one of my cords broke, the silver part separated from the cord, and I started to make a claim and ended up not making a claim because they asked for information like where did I purchase it and things like that, and I didn't have that any longer. But anyway, I go into all that to show that this is what I got in the mail the other day. So this is probably like the cord that broke. And they've included a little key which helps you tighten your needles to the cord, and some cord stoppers, and another cord and the same key and stoppers. And I just thought that was exceptionally nice, since I couldn't, meet their criteria of proving when and where I bought it, because the set of needles was an impulse buy at a yarn show. I didn't keep the receipt. It was a long time ago. But that was joyful to receive those cords. And I had other cords, like when it happened, when it broke, and I just didn't make the claim and I threw it away. I wasn't really very concerned because I have other cords I can use. So I started this yesterday. I had picked out the yarns and I've shown you the yarns. And I did this cast on, which allows me to start at the bottom of the bag without having to come back and seam it. And this is called Judy's Magic Cast On, and I'm going to link a video, a Very Pink Knits video, where it's a very good demonstration of it. Now, if that particular video doesn't suit you, there are quite a few out there for Judy's Magic Cast On, but I find it quite easy to do. And most of the time you do this kind of cast on for socks or something like that, so that you have a smooth join at the tip of the sock. You can see where that would be a nice thing to have, because this is my beginning stitches of this. And I'll link a video that she does a really good demonstration of it. But I enjoy this because I'm able to start with something much larger than a sock, of course, something bag-sized, and not have to seam the bottom of it. And it's very tidy. It looks very, very nice for the bottom seam of the bag. And it creates a kind of a little bit of a flat bottom for the bag. It's hard to tell that now, but it will, because of the way it was started, it will create a little bit of a flat bottom for the bag. And so I'm on my second color of scrap yarn, and haven't decided quite how I'm going to do all of it. I like to start with a dark color, and then I'll probably end with the same dark color for the top part and the straps. That's often how I like to do it. And I think I have enough yarn to be able to do that, enough of this dark green yarn to be able to do that. So I will continue, and I will try to keep you up with my progress. If you are interested in learning Judy's Magic Cast On, I strongly encourage you to search out a YouTube video to learn to do it. I'm going to give you a quick demo here, just because it's so fun and easy. Of course, start with a slip knot, and a pair of circular needles works best. You'll see why. And I think this uses some of the magic loop techniques, which I'm not completely familiar with, but I think this is related to that. So start with your slip knot on one of the needles, have the tail of your yarn to the back and the working yarn to the front, kind of like you're going to do a slingshot cast on. And then bring that other needle up, hold it parallel, so you have something like this. And then we're going to cast on. We have our first stitch. This is going to count as our first stitch, the slip knot. So we need to make a stitch on the bottom needle, like that. Another one on the top needle, one on the bottom needle, and you see now I have a total of 4 stitches, and I have an even number of stitches. I have the same number on the top needle as I do on the bottom needle. So I need one on the top needle and one on the bottom needle. And when you do this, like I said, like I mentioned, often to start the toe of a sock, I don't make socks often. I used to, but the small needles bother my hands. I did enjoy making socks. Anyway, I understand what a good start this would be for the toe of a sock. And then that's when you work more of a magic loop kind of technique to achieve the result Get in a rhythm. And it helps, you know, if you have the tips of your needles even. And you do need somewhat of a tail. See, I ran out of my tail. So anticipate how many stitches you need if you're only starting a sock. You probably don't need a lot of stitches. When I started the bag, I needed 80 stitches to start, so I made myself quite a long tail to get started on that. So I have the same number of stitches on the top needle as I have on the bottom needle. And I'm going to start working these stitches. Like I said, this is a very brief demo, not a tutorial. Many tutorials are available, but I just thought this was so much fun. This is going to be the front of your work. So right now, just turn your work like this, let that tail dangle, and then kind of catch the tail in your working yarn. And we're going to knit these stitches on this needle. So pull this needle out where you can use it to knit and knit the stitches on this needle. Now, of course, that first one with the tail might be a little loose, but you can fix that later. And then pull this needle along, get the stitches back on this one, and knit them. Now, okay, this is important. This is important. Knit that first one, it's the slip knot. Now, the remaining stitches, these stitches are not properly seated. They will be twisted if you knit them. So to fix that, and this is the only time this happens in this whole use of this cast on and this stitch, this is the only set of stitches you will have to be concerned with this about, that they will be twisted if you knit them normally. So to fix that, just knit those few stitches through the back loop. They will be knitted onto the other needle properly, and all your stitches are now seated right and ready to work. And when this is done with more stitches, with a larger piece, like I said, I cast on 80 to start my bag, within just a few rows, rounds, you can begin to actually work in the round, like you saw my scrap yarn project, my bag I'm working on. I'm working in the round now. And it didn't take long to get to the point where I had enough stitches from this starting point, like this, until I could begin actually working in the round on my circular needles. So that was a lot of fun. I did that last night, and I wanted to share it with you. But I was a little tired last night. I didn't quite get to having the camera. So I wanted to show you this morning and tell you good morning. This is the beginning of a long weekend for me. So I think I'm probably going to post this video, and then I might have some more for you over the weekend, or I might see you again in a few days. But enjoy the weekend, enjoy the holiday, take care of yourself, take care of each other, be safe. Thanks for watching.